Everyone is terrified. Business and government officials are too afraid to cross Trump on tariffs. Good. We should suffer. I saw a Substack today saying this is all about American companies having to grovel to Trump for mercy and kiss the ring. I do genuinely think that. I think that, like, this is another way of compelling loyalty. They're meant to be so overwhelming that he wants corporations to come to Trump and, like, plead for exceptions that he'll provide in exchange for, you know, political favor. He's not that smart. It's not that complicated. It's like very basic mob boss shit, and he's done this before. It's like the rewarding institutions and people that are loyal to him is like the one thing he's always done as president and businessman his entire life. It's not that complicated. But that would only work with American companies now? No, you could do that to foreign companies. He did it with ByteDance, with TikTok, remember? Remember how the day before the inauguration, TikTok went dark and then put out an announcement saying, thanks to glorious God Emperor Trump, we can operate again, and it was all like completely made up? Capitol Hill Republicans, corporate America, and White House allies are terrified about what's next in Trump's escalating trade war, but they fear Trump's wrath even more. Republican lawmakers are signaling they're willing to tolerate the pain for now, despite economic fallout back home. Lobbyists who are quietly prodding the same lawmakers to defend their interests don't want to have a target on their back or their clients. Even some Trump world confidants, alarmed about the tariff's impact, are hoping someone else intervenes. Isn't it fucked up how much clout Trump pulls here? And Democrats don't? Like, Schumer is a bitch. It's insane. Like, the president has so much power. Like, when I see stuff like this, my thinking isn't, wow, everyone's afraid of Trump, they're all pussies. My thinking is like, wow, it turns out it's possible for the president to use, like, enormous cultural power and, you know, bully everyone into submission, which is what FDR did. It's just insane that, like, the Democrats exercise none of this. None, not even like half of it, a tenth of it, a hundredth of it. There is zero incentive for any company or brand to be remotely critical of this administration. It destroys your ability to work with the White House and advance your policies, period. Anonymity to speak freely, of course. An official in the energy industry echoed that sense of fear here. And by the way, someone's going to be like, well, would you really want Democrats to do this? Yes. If we had a based-ass Democratic president, I would love it if they were like, oh, we're actually not going to be working with these, like, fascist fucking news, like Fox News. If you think OAN and Newsmax shouldn't be allowed as in the White House press corps, which I don't, by the way. I don't think OAN and Newsmax should be allowed in. I don't think they meet even the most baseline threshold for like a nonpartisan news age. I'm not even close, okay? And if you think they shouldn't be, why should Fox News be? Let him cry about it. Yeah, fucking Breitbart. Yeah, I think I think that I'm going to be consistent on that. You know, would you if a Democrat was a president, would you really want them, like, you know, not working with openly partisan corporations that want to destroy the country and democracy and make life worse for everyone? Yeah, I don't know. I think I would like that. Why is it Republicans are capable of using this power for evil, but Democrats aren't capable of using it for good? I know I'm not suggesting that Democrats are even interested in using it, by the way. I'm just indicating that this is power you have as a leader. Meanwhile, like, shitlibs on Twitter will get mad at you if you suggest that Biden had any more power than what he used. They'll unironically be like, well, what do you expect Kamala Harris to do? What do you expect Biden to do, dog? I don't know. Trump wasn't president for the past 4 years, and he still managed to build like an overwhelming tidal wave of corporate and public support. It's wild when Obama's White House denied Fox News access for some media events during his administration. Several other left-center media news networks opted out of the event too. Yeah, you have to crush that shit. It's a unified effort. But after Obama won in 2009, he had an actual mandate. He could have done whatever he wanted. And when Biden won after January 6th, he had an actual mandate. After J6, he could have done whatever he wanted. Trump has nothing compared to what they had. But Trump is nonetheless using this power, and they are not. How did they pass so many vote-suppressing laws, especially in Georgia during Biden's presidency? Yeah, he should have been threatening to withhold federal funding from them. Hey, Georgia, hey, red state, I see you're interested in, like, invalidating our democracy. Well, that's really tough, buddy. That's really tough for you. You want federal funding? That's too many times you've added me in one day, Uves. You're crossing the threshold. Don't learn this lesson the way Masaigu did. Leave our disco dev alone? They worked on Disco Elysium? Joe Manchin was too OP. I'm just talking about federal power. Yes? Oh, shit. That's pretty cool. Well, anyway. An official in the energy industry echoed that sense of fear, hearing angst and frustration from all quarters, the official said via text message. But no one wants to be the first out of the box saying anything negative about Trump's decision-making. The paralysis reflects the broader mood of Trump's second administration, in which, by the way, this fear is so paralyzing. Please remember, Costco openly defied Trump and said, no, we're going to keep our DEI hiring incentives. And they have been weathering the economic storm way better than any comparable country. They suffered no consequences for it. In which he's targeted and threatened to destroy institutions that cross him, including law firms, universities, and more. With his tight grip on Washington, Trump has faced no meaningful resistance to policies that are upending the global economy, tearing up America's relationships with the closest allies, and making deep unilateral cuts to the federal government. Leaders have quickly learned that however harmful they think a Trump policy might be, publicly contradicting the president could be worse. Now, with the Trump administration doubling down on tariffs and trying to sell the country on short-term pain for long-term gain, it's unclear what the breaking point will be for officials and lobbyists representing the most impacted constituencies. I guess it's nice to be reminded that even the world's like wealthiest and most powerful lobbyists are still giant fucking pussies. There's absolutely a sense that the administration is keeping a list and no one on K Street wants to be on it. Advocates for affected industries are scrambling to determine how durable the new tariffs will be. They point to Trump's swift reversal last month on tariffs targeting Canada and Mexico, which he largely paused amid an uproar from business leaders and even some Republicans. In a Truth Social post Friday, Trump wrote, "My policies will never change." Love that guy. You know what else he said, by the way? Big business is not worried about the tariffs because they know they are here to stay, but they are focused on the big, beautiful deal, which will supercharge our economy. Very important going on right now. He's literally doing the too big to fail thing. He's literally saying like, hey, you regular people and small businesses combined, like, whatever, man. Big businesses, no, they'll be okay. I think a lot of business leaders are very frustrated that the process of getting here was opaque and that the decision points are so starkly black and white. I'm going to lose my shit on this one multi-client Republican lobbyist. What the fuck do you mean the process of getting here was opaque? What the fuck? He campaigned on doing exactly the thing that he's doing, and everyone already knew that he was like this. Fucking idiots. They're not dealing with situations with more nuance, one multi-client Republican lobbyist said before adding, I'm trying to say something profound without getting a call from the White House that says, you're next. What's the Japanese proverb? The nail sticking up gets hammered down, the lobbyist added. On K Street, there's no value in being the nail sticking up right now. Another Republican lobbyist said they've been advising clients to, quote, soften their tone if they want to work with this White House. Oh my God. Who are these business leaders? Speaking on condition of anonymity. A White House... I'm sorry, it's just difficult to read. A White House ally close to the president's inner circle noted that the tariffs the administration came up with were not true reciprocal tariffs. Yeah, they were ChatGPT tariffs. And that there is a question about whether they are even legal. The Trump ally said he and others in the administration expected business groups would challenge them in court. They're going to be sued off their asses as soon as it happens, the person said, by trade associations, companies, industry groups. No major trade group has filed litigation as of Friday midday. Every business tyrant thinks that they're going to be in on the inner circle, you know? Like, they all champion a president who upends the rule of law and talks about running for a third term and clearly has nothing but contempt for due process. And then they're like, whoa, hold on. I thought I would be in the privileged inner circle when all this shit went down. I thought we'd be able to work all this out. What the fuck are you telling me that everything Trump said about the tariffs was correct and that they would apply to me as well? A person close to the administration argued that companies aren't being fearful about speaking out. Rather, they're trying to be strategic about how to engage with the president. People are smarter this time in dealing with the Trump administration, the person said. They know not to beat their chest and try to score points in the New York Times, but have conversations behind the scenes and try to make deals. I think it's about making deals and not antagonizing the administration. Definitely not fascism, by the way, when like the corporate media, like their response to this is like, well, as long as we don't publicly disobey the Fuhrer and we voice our concerns only in private meetings, we should be okay. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think we need to suffer like way more. I think we need to double the tariffs. I think we need more. I am so terrified of us not sticking with the Hoover long enough to get the FDR. Like, that's the thing that scares me. I really don't want, like, us to go 90% of the way and then things stabilize because people are like, well, we object to the worst excesses of the Trump administration, but I think we'll be keeping, you know, a lot of it. And then things just stay bad forever. Do we really think there's going to be an FDR? Nobody thought there would be an FDR in 1929. Nobody in 1929 could have even comprehended an FDR. Vaush keeps saying we as if his wealthy ass is going to suffer lol. Hey, listen, motherfucker! I'm a class traitor, okay? That's the... listen, okay? Your ass coming at me. I am but a humble American proletarian. But you, Vaush, you come from the wealthy, privileged live streamer caste. And then I say, of course, this is true, but there is one commonality between us. We are both class traitors. Basically, what I'm saying is you would have shot Rosa Luxemburg. Sit the fuck down! Quixote_7 in YouTube chat. Hey, Vaush, please remember that only about 20% of Americans voted for Trump. You can look at his approval ratings. It's not a secret. Like how many Americans think what he's doing is epic and red-pilled. 270 million innocent people having their lives ruined. This is the face of the election where the Democrats failed to counter the GOP's messaging and in fact validate those arguments. No, you don't. I'm sorry. We're playing for keeps on this one. How are we going to learn otherwise? I do not think people understand how potentially bad the consequences could be of what's happening right now being accepted as the new normal, which is a very real possibility. I would say that right now it's more likely than not that America permanently, or nothing's forever, but essentially permanently becomes this. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, right? I mean, we could just be Russia. A wealthier Russia? It could happen. We could do the Hungary thing. I don't know. How long do we have to weather that? 20, 30, 40 years? What if it was a century of American decline, of suffering for the people who live here? Political persecutions, disappearances, the erosion of our constitutional rights, the point of near meaninglessness, before something meaningful changed, something got better, versus a fucking crash out and then a crash the fuck in. FDR2, let's go. I'm not saying it's going to be that simple. I'm not, I'm painting over a lot. These factors are very complicated, but I am very worried about the hyper normalization. It's regular normalization. I don't know what a hyper normalization is, of the normalization of these patterns. It needs to become untenable. It's already happening in the eyes of the public. Percent of Americans who see Canada as a close ally went down from 62% to 45%. Republicans literally, like there are a lot of Republicans who think Russia is good now. Like they are very malleable to the propaganda. And they're very, very, that sentiment is very powerful, very influential. The media environment reinforces it. We need, the roots need to be pulled up. So you're an accelerationist now? Yeah, that's not a secret. It's been the case since the inauguration. Wouldn't you want to race through the bad times? That would require whoever gets in the power on the Dem side basically using the law to its fullest extent without regard for seeming partisan. Yeah, that's happened before. That was normal for all of American history up until like the 1980s. Literally, like up until basically Reagan and Bill Clinton on the Democrat side, the idea of like unabashed partisanship in how you conduct your executive affairs, it was not uncommon. Why don't we use the power we have? Why does all the power have to be used by the bad people? Why punish everyone for the action? If you Rapty Feathers, I don't think you're critically engaging with the arguments that I've made. I think you're just upset at the idea that like there is a historical trajectory to the path this country has taken, and we're all kind of on the roller coaster right now. But I'm not the one who fucking pulled the lever and set us down this road, okay? We should all be upset. We should all be upset. None of us asked for this. We didn't compel the government to be as it is, or ask the Democrats to be so ineffectual and useless. We've been offering the good advice, the solutions, the entire time. But we're just people. We're just regular old people. We're not the president. We're not in Congress. Chat does not realize FDR was the governor of New York in 1929. Hoover won 58% of the popular vote just 1 year prior, but by 1932 he lost with only 39% of the popular vote. And even then, 39%, you know? Jesus. He campaigned on this, one GOP senator whispered as panic stirred in the Senate hallways. This is just the beginning. Bring it on.